No, mic's here. It's that's the mic.
Oh,
So whenever you're ready.
okay. Hello. Hello, everyone. I'm back with another presentation, as always. This time, I'm going to talk about Discord because that's the future, right? First, we start with memes because just a disclaimer, I wrote this at 4 a.m., so I was really bad with my stuff. So, this is the meme of the day. Yeah. So, who am I? I am a sleepy boy. I was tired. Third year, tech lead. Look at that beautiful picture. And interest is reversing level languages and pen testing and all that fun stuff. People think I'm a Mac. I love Mac. Well, people complain that I spend too much money on this, but I want to spend $2,000 on that feature right there. What if I want that? So don't judge my choices. I cannot. You can't drag your screen that much. It just shakes a lot. Yes, I want that. Oh, okay. Let's start. Uh, I assume everyone knows what Discord is. We use it every day. It's what we use for club and other stuff, classes. Well, I think Discord is the new Slack because it is. It's not used by boomers, and that's what it actually is: the VoIP, instant messaging, and all that fun stuff from Wikipedia. So obviously being used right nowadays. Well, it's again service for classes, clubs, hackathon. If you guys are interested in Brick Hack, it's going to be happening soon. I remember what day. But damn, I'm supposed to well join our Discord link. I don't have it there, but imagine it's there. Uh, and what can you do with Discord? Well, Discord gives you the power to create your own bots, which is on its own like gold mine for I think for pentesters, red teamers, and simply you can use Discord just to hang out with your friends. Since no in person is here, so we can always use Discord as our go-to. Whew, okay, please don't read this. This was at 4 a.m. I was really tired, but the idea of using Discord as a C2 came to me when at the beginning of IRSec during the fall semester, I believe. That was the beginning of COVID, and I, as a red teamer, didn't have like a fancy tool, and I have always wanted to write my own C2, but everyone is like, most of the red teamers tell you don't write your own C2. We have so many, don't do it, yada yada. And I was really sad. I was really sad because I really wanted to learn what it is, and I was like, okay, I'm not gonna do it then. I just use what you guys have. And until COVID actually happened, and I didn't want to use their tools. It was just really not. It was not mine, so I don't have pride using it that much. And it was all this, and the competition was on Discord, I believe. And right at that moment, I remembered reading a paper about using Slack as a way to send message. Well, using Slack as a CTU. So I was like, okay, since everyone's moving to Discord, why don't we make a Slack version of that? So using a Discord C2, and that's where the whole idea came out from. So I spent one night writing this tool the day before the competition, and surprisingly, it worked for the most part. And I had no fancy name, so it was Discord C2. So I'm still looking for a fancy name for this, but if not, Discord C2 is the way to go. So, how does this look like? Well, we have version one. It's only one file. It's main.go. Okay, backstory. This is all in Golang, so literally just Golang. The point was to learn how to write good Golang and just be better because at that time Golang was like the the stuff. So I was like, okay, I'll do this in Golang. I don't know what I'm doing, but I will spend hours reading Golang. So version one was really bad. It was really no code segmentation. It's just again one file. It's like probably like 500 plus lines of code. really terrible to read. And again, one night, not fun. It had the main.go, which is the main binary, and has a config file, which is right there, which takes in your bot token from. I'll explain where to get that from, and you get a server ID. So every time you create a server, you have a number assigned to it. So that will be put in there. And the bottom part is channels. That's for, let's say we have the Windows boxes, Linux boxes, BSD boxes. Sadly, BSD is there. But as you can see, there's the BSD, and in the BSD categories, it's going to create a bunch of uh, tiny channels for each machine the binary is on. I don't know if that makes sense, but yada yada. So when you execute it, this is what it looks like. You have the main, the main right here, the PF sense in this case, and in there shows you all the teams number with the name. So if you want to attack, let's say team two, you can just go to this place, go in there, enter your command, and voila, magic happens. And that was it. That was literally just the Discord bot, in really straightforward, nothing crazy. And this is what it looks like. So for each channel, you can always go in there, send in your command, and Discord, the bot, will return this beautiful output showing whatever you send. But there was a problem with this is Discord has character limits, so I think it's 2,000 or 8,000, 2,000. And so if you have like I have configured and you have multiple network adapters, it's not going to show, and it's not going to report that something's wrong. It's just not going to show anything. So I was like, and there was no time to fix this, so I had to just ignore that part and just continue going. So okay, now how does that work behind the scene? Behind, well, again, you just need one thing. You just need to create a bot. So if you go to Discord, d- developer.discord. Damn, I should never write representation at night. Well, if you go to this, if you look up Discord developers, it's gonna give you the first link is where you can create your own bots, and in there it gives you a token, and to fully use this bot, you have to give it admin creds. No, not just give it admin privileges, like all of it. So in case you need to create channels, honestly, I don't know why you give it admin, but just give it all of it and it's fine. You just don't have to worry about stuff. And again, you create your Discord channel, and you get the server, and you get the ID, and you have to import that into the config file as you've seen before, and invite that bot to your Discord, and that's it. That's all you have to do to set up. And if you don't know how to write a Discord bot, well, I have two links at the bottom. Really easy to write. There's Python, there's Java. I don't know why people do it in Java, but I know people who wrote a Discord bot in Java, so you can write in whatever language you want. It's there. So, version 2, the better version. The goal for this one was to make it much more better, actually do better code, and have some much more functionalities that I didn't was not able to create in the previous version. And this time, it's not on Discord itself. It's now a CLI. And look at this beautiful ASCII art that I created. It's so beautiful. I'm going to show a demo. It's so good. Whew. So again, how is it different? So every time you create an agent, if you if you drop the binary on a box, rather than just not giving it an ID, like a way to identify who the target is, I give them an ID, a unique ID. So every time they get created, they send you their special ID, and it gets stored in this table somewhere. Uh, the message, because again, I'm trying to make this like think like a software developer. So I have the messages being passed in JSON form. So all fancy looking, API requests and all that fancy stuff. It's like Metasploit, but like not as good, but still good. And last time I was not able to do a cross-platform version because Golang is awesome. So I was not able to do it, but I was this time I was able to get it. As you can see at the bottom, it's sending the dir command and we can get the output. So that's awesome. And yada, yeah, cool. As you can see, cross platform as Linux, Mac OS, Windows. I'm not sure if it works on BSD yet. We have to try that later. We want some demos. Okay, so I have. Oh god, did I remember password? So I have the again I have the binary compiler for Linux, Mac OS, and Windows. So this is the Linux binary. This is I don't remember my password. This is the Windows binary version, and I have my Mac OS right next to me. So I'm gonna start the server. Look at that! Isn't that beautiful? Okay, so we start the Mac OS version first. I can't see it. So okay, because this is Discord, if you don't mute the server, you're gonna get a lot. And depending on how your notification is, if you just for me, it just doesn't tell you for like a certain amount of time, and later in the day, it's just 1,000 messages. So if you don't mute it, you're just gonna get a bunch of that. Okay, so we have Linux running and Windows. Ah, okay. Now we get all the IDs. It tells you when it's connected, and if you do agents, voila, it tells you Mac OS, Linux, and Windows. God damn, this I keep forgetting the name. Windows. So all of you have all three of them, so it's there, and it gives you the OS name. Uh, yeah, and it's again, it's just like Metasploit. You can just do interact, and you can do the tab function. Oh, this took a while, but you can just tab, and it shows you all the available agents. I know it's like took me forever. And you can do help, and you can see all the commands you can do for each agent. Currently, the file upload doesn't work yet because I was thinking about that, so I never actually wrote the functionality. But right now we can do the command to do cmd and ls, and this is the Mac OS. So this is for my host machine, and I have to turn this off, but currently it sends a ping message every 1 minute to tell you it's awake because I need a way to make sure the agents are still alive. So it sends that every minute. So you're gonna get spammed with, oh, this agent is still up. It's annoying, but it's easy to fix. We can do again warmi cmd. Okay, in this case, this is something for macOS when you do your IP config, if config. It's a lot. You get a lot. So this is over the character limit. So the way to fix this is if the output is more than, let's say, 2,000 characters, I'm gonna just convert save that into a file and send that to Discord. And the goal is that the server will get that attached text file and read that and just output in this terminal right here. I'm still working on that. It's actually taking longer than I expected, but I'm just going to show you if I do the cmd if config, we get nothing. But if you look over at Discord, this is what you see every time you send a message. It's a lot of JSON, a lot. And at the bottom, this hh.txt, that's the if config output. So I have to figure out a way to just download this and open it. But every time the character it's more than the character limit, you get sent a file, and that's it. What else? Windows. Let's do Windows. That took me also a while. Why does Windows have to be so hard? I think it's better than BSD though. Actually, I might be lying. Interact with Windows. Again, CMD there. Woo! Yes. I'm gonna later on. I'm gonna explain the challenges that came with just getting just this part to work, just this Windows part. Not fun. Golang is a lot of work. Yeah. So that's pretty much it. You can do that for every agent. There's also the shell mode, which kind of works. So it works. So let's say we have, it's always going to send a shell on port 444 at the moment. Later on, you have the choice to change that port. So going back to this part, if we do shell, we get a CMD shell right there. Fancy, right? So if you don't want to use the CLI, you can always get a shell and do fun with that. So, uh, what is? Okay, I think that's it for demos, right? Yes, I think so. Okay, challenges. Well, the whole point of the project, just getting the sending commands and executing commands was not hard. It was really pretty easy. So that was not my toughest part. The main part was just writing good code, because I feel like security, most security students, we know what to do, but when we try to write tools, we just write the jankiest stuff and it just works for like the moment you need it, and that's it. Most most people, most red teamers I know. So I didn't want to do that. So yeah, that's gonna be up for a while. So as you can see, I actually broke it down into packages and different objects. Just yeah, objects in Go, and I can actually show you guys. Uh, da-da-da. So for example, this is the message file. It has different constants. So we have the ping, pong, output, command, so I can tell what exactly the type of message that's being sent around, so I can know how to respond properly to each one. And as you can see, this is the file upload, never got used yet. And yeah, it's just I actually try to do this much cleaner. I think I kind of got it. It's better than the first version. And so what's next? God, I did not finish this. Well, okay. What did I learn from this? Golang is interesting. So I one of the things I noticed, maybe I did it wrong, but whenever you enter an input, you get a user input from the standard inputs. I don't know if this happens to every other language, but it has like two extra white space to it, and I could not see that when I was trying to test the command version, functionality. So every time I send a command to the os.execute function, I just get command not able to execute or something like that. And I'm not gonna use switch cases. So sorry, what was I saying? I was saying that Golang was fun. So again, it has like spaces at the end of the user input, and it's really hard to detect. So and I had to have and I'm again, I try to be good, but most times you just don't be just good never comes out of you. So I just, instead of doing like a proper debug session, I just kept putting print statements all over the program and putting so instead of A's, I just put instead of spaces, I decided to put A's as my space. So every time I get like ls-la, it's gonna be l, and that was already hard, and that was just a lot of business that I had to figure out with Go. So that not really challenging, but it was really weird to fix. Another thing that really pisses that got me quite annoyed, I guess Golang when you try to send a shell from the agents to yourself, obviously it varies between platform. And on Linux, it's so much easier. Just send a slash bin slash sh. Really easy. But for Windows, you need to have this special attributes. I deleted it from my code, so I don't have it anymore. But if you want to have the same function that does different things for different operating system, you have to create like a build constraint, which was a new concept for me. So I was like, wow, this sounds interesting, because you can have two files, one called, let's say, Windows and another one called Linux, and they have the exact same function. It's like same properties and everything, except the what is inside the function is different to the OS. Yes. So, and again, to really uh, do that build constraint, you have to do like a slash slash. This is at the top of the file. I can show quick something. So, like, let's say I want to have the CLL every time I compile for Linux. So you have to go here and do a slash slash, and you have to do a plus, say build, and for Linux. So what this does is that it tells Golang every time I'm compiling the binary. If I'm doing for Windows, it's not going to compile this to the final binary. It's just going to ignore the existence of this, which was pretty cool. But it never worked for me, so I had to use some janky way to send shells. As you can see over here, I just sent a netcat. I just tell netcat to send a shell to me. So if the Windows machine doesn't have netcat, this doesn't work at all. So if I'm gonna do this for highest future competitions, please install netcat for me. It's really useful. And what else? Uh, improvements. Yeah, like I said, I want to get. We can always do better, right? Like, we can always think of reasons to make this tool better or not. We can again, I want to try to do the file uploads and get files in case we want to like edit some system configurations. We can just do that rather than doing some sed command, rather than doing that weird long string. We just edit it and send it back to you. Again, continue to write better code. And I think I got better with the code, but now I should get better with the documentation. That's a lot of writing, so I just didn't do it for this one. And I said make compatible with other frameworks. I know that someone is making something and they might need some Discord module. So being able to make this work with other frameworks, I think that would be really good for the tool, and also gives it exposure. And lastly, again, there's always room to improve. There's nothing is ever good for anyone, so it's whatever. If you think this project is cool and you want your help, you can always reach out to me, and we can always work on this or whatever. And that's the repo. It's not. I actually didn't push it yet, so it right after this, I'm gonna push the code. All of that cool stuff you just saw, I'm gonna push it right now, and yeah, it's gonna be in V2 because I have V1, which is the original version where you just send command line directly from Discord itself, and the V2 is just the CLI. Later on, we're gonna have like a flag where you can switch between the modes. So if you want to have rather than having two different versions, you can just have one, and you can just switch from mode. So if you want the CLI, you can just do dash dash mode CLI and you get that, or dash dash GUI and you just use the Discord itself. And I think that's it. But I do say a question. Elijah, I think that's Elijah. Asked if how do what do you do when you want to find my Discord on your boxes? Well, that will depend. It depends on how I feel that day. I might do a service, I might do a cron job, I might do some rootkits. It really depends. So that's not there's no definite answer for that. It's just it depends on how I do my persistence. But in something oh sorry, one thing I forgot is I've not really gone into details with this, but I'm not sure how Discord actually does its network like I've not looked at the network traffic that actually goes between those the Discord and the agent. So I don't know if it's actually encrypted. I think it should, at least HTTPS. So if you try to detect it, maybe you would not see it because it's gonna blend in. I'm not sure yet, but eventually I have to double check. Never. Okay. Someone said kernel Discord when. Well, we have Discord raw sockets. I think that's close enough to kernel, and I'm not going lower than that. Okay. Question was, after all this pain, will I still do Go? I would still do Go. I feel like I'm even though I don't like something at the moment, I would still rather go back. Like even though the language is giving me a lot of problems, like BSD, I would still for some reason go back and write some BSD rootkit if someone asked me to. Do I want to do it on my free time though? No. If I'm told to do it, probably. I am not doing that. Well, wait. We never know. I've not tested this on FreeBSD. It might work. It could. I don't know how. I forgot how BSD does its weird networking stuff. It might say I don't want to be like the other Linux distro, so I'm going to be weird and do something different. You never know, huh? Dude, I don't know the difference of Linux and stuff. Uh, I think it should work because Mac OS is kind of similar to BSD. Part the subsection, I don't know. BSD Mac OS kind of similar. It should work. I think. I'm not sure. Any other questions? Okay, thank you.
Your presentation
Oh,
was great.
you got